Hey, everybody, Thomas here. Again, we're out here with Mr. Robert and Mr. Howard. Robert's going to talk about these two machines that he's done many hours on.
Many hours. I hope you can see. It's a little dark right in here tonight, but maybe you can see okay. These are two cat claw sharpeners, Cook's cat claw sharpeners. This is a machine I bought a couple of years ago that I have sharpened many blades on. Does an excellent job. But this machine has a ceramic grinding wheel that you put on there, and you have to shape that grinding wheel to fit the profile of the tooth of the blade that you're sharpening. This is a relatively new machine. This machine I bought in 1997 used. How old is it? I don't really know. I bought it in 1997, and I used it until a couple of years ago, and then I sold it. I sold my sawmill and I sold this machine and a single tooth setter. Well, the man that bought my sawmill and my single tooth setter and this machine brought me his blades to clean, set, and sharpen. So after I did that a couple of times, I asked him about it. I said, "You want to sell that back?" He said, "Yeah, I'll sell it back to you." So I bought it back. I like this old machine better than I do this new machine. It's a quieter, it does a good job, it's smooth. Not that this doesn't do a good job, I just like this one better. You know, I'm used to it. I grew up with it, and it's treated me well, and it's a good machine. I have since sold these two machines. I will no longer use them. And now we're going to walk over here and show you the different direction that I have chosen to go.
All right, folks, this is the machine that I've apparently said the name wrong many a time. I've been calling this a BSM 250. It's a BMS 250, but it's a Woodmizer.
A Woodmizer. Of course, if you turn this around, it's a Woodmizer. But I made mine a Woodmizer.
So this is Mr. Robert's newest addition to his sharpening business.
We rolling?
Oh, you're rolling.
Okay, folks. I had surgery on my knee January the 20th, and I am still hobbling around like an old man. Like
older.
I am, an older man. My son does an excellent job on the cleaning, inspecting, and the setting. However, we had quite a few blades pile up on us in here while I wasn't able to get out here and sharpen. So I got thinking about this. And I had some friends, some sharpening friends throughout the country that use this machine. So I called them and talked to them, and I says, is it really worth me investing in this machine to go that route? And two guys that I think a lot of said, "Look, Mr. Robert," said, "if you buy one of those machines, you'll set them cooks over in the corner and won't ever use them anymore." So I took them at their word, and I purchased this machine. I called Cooks. I called Woodmizer in Indiana, talked to them up there, talked to their salespeople up there, and told them I was interested in buying one of these. So I purchased it. Do I like the machine? Yes, I do like the machine. But I'm going to tell you a couple of things about it. Several things I'm going to tell you about it. This machine naturally has an oil, it lubricates. It has a pump here that pumps oil through this tube onto this CBN wheel. This machine runs a CBN wheel that is the profile of the blade. It doesn't go down and sweep. It goes down and up, down and up. It touches the hook angle of the tooth, the gullet of the tooth, and the back angle all at one time. There's no grinding of this. So there's no error to be made. It doesn't change as it goes around the blade. Grinding wheel is ceramic or
Porcelain.
Not
silicone, silicon,
yeah.
rock, whatever. It's something.
I can't think of it. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, this rock stays the same. If you use a grinding rock, it'll change a little bit as it goes around that wheel. Not that much, but some. I like this machine actually runs pretty fast. I'll turn it on and show you just how fast it runs. That turns it on. This turns on the motion. This turns on the grinding wheel. And this turns on the oil, which we're not going to turn on at this time because it will throw it all over me. I run the machine at this speed. The blade is in here. It's advancing through. I get it set. I get it all the way around on my arms, and I lower this down onto the tooth. Just lower it down, and it will catch and then start picking up. Then, on this machine, on the cook's machine, you let the grinding motor and the grinding wheel down into the gullet of the blade. On this machine, you raise, see these turning? You raise the blade up to the wheel. This is at a fixed position. It'll come down so far, and that's it. So you raise the blade up into it, and then you advance the tooth either forward or backward by turning this right here. And that's the same as it is on a cook's machine. This is no different. There is another difference. This cam will sharpen from a 3/4 inch blade tooth spacing to a 7/8 inch tooth spacing blade. Where on the cooks, I had to change the cam every time I change the tooth spacing. On this one, you don't. This one, you have to put oil in here. That oil comes out, sprays on this wheel, keeps the rock clean and lubricated, keeps the blade cool. This machine is a little more expensive than the cook's machine, a good bit more, and it is more costly to operate. You have to buy this oil to put in here. Thomas, show a picture of that 5-gallon bucket of oil there underneath that red thing.
Mm-hmm.
That 5-gallon bucket of oil is $125, and it's empty. We have put it in here. It takes about 2 to 2.5 gallons to get this sump tank up to the level to where it needs to operate. Now, down in here is some magnets and things that collect all this dust, all this shavings that come off of the blades. And we clean that daily. So your oil is expensive. A grinding wheel, like this right here, at Cook's is $26. The last ones I bought was $25 and 90-something cents a piece. This wheel here is $195. Now,
and how many wheels do you have, and why do you have something?
I bought 5 wheels because you have to have a different wheel for the different tooth profiles on the blades. And I bought a 3/4 because I have a customer that uses 3/4 tooth spaces, and you have to have that wheel. That's a 729.5 degree wheel is what that is. It's 7 degree, 29.5 degree back angle, 3/4 inch tooth spacing. So it's a little more expensive to operate. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, and I'm running this machine, I own this machine, I think it does a better job. The people that we have sharpened blades for on this machine have told us that those blades cut like going through hot butter. I have that exact comment on this phone where a guy texted to me. It does the same, it makes the tooth the same every time it goes up and down, it makes that tooth exactly the same. So I like this machine. It's nasty. I'm gonna just tell you right now, look at my hands, just touching that right there. I have,
and then if you look on the table, where the blade touches, it does have a squeegee system.
It does have a squeegee. When the blade passes through here, it wipes the oil off the blade. However, there's a certain amount of oil that stays on that blade, which that's good and that's bad. That's good for the blade. It keeps it from rusting. It's bad for me because I'm losing oil. And you lose a certain amount of oil every day. We add a little bit of oil to this every day. But we sharpen quite a few saw blades every day also because we're in a blade sharpening business. If you buy one of these for your own home use. And let me say this, if I was running my sawmill myself and I was going to only sharpen my blades and I was going to run the same kind of blade all the time, I would purchase this machine because I like the way it works. I like the way it sharpens. It does an excellent job. Can't say enough about it because it is a little more expensive. So you could buy one of these, which I'd say buy two. You need to keep one on hand. And
if you're only running one type of blade.
If you're running one type of blade, you can set this machine up and it stays pretty much set to sharpen that type of blade. You only have to have one kind of, I would buy two rocks just to have a spare, but that one rock would do to sharpen your blades with, and it'd do you a good job. Something else I was going to say about this machine.
So the pros about it, I would say, like you said, it's fast, it's consistent, it's quiet.
It's quiet. You can hold a conversation while this machine is running. On that Cooks, it's pretty loud.
Mm-hmm. And there's no dust. But on the other side of that, you got oil.
And you got that oil, and my wife says, "What are y'all doing out there? Your clothes stink terrible. My washing machine is full of oil. What do we do?" So my wife has started washing our clothes and puts a cap of pine oil in with our clothes. And makes it smell a little bit better.
We're about to remedy that. They sell a system that you can, a vacuum system that you can put on the top of this machine that reduces the amount of oil particles in the air.
Yep.
I'll tell you how much I like this machine, and I was hoping it would be here. I have another one that's going to sit right there. I've already bought it. It's sitting in the warehouse over in Mobile, which is about 20 miles away, to be shipped here to me. I bought two. I like this one, so I bought another one for two reasons. We can increase our production. We can sharpen twice as many blades. And if one of my machines were to break down, if this machine was to break down, I'd be dead in the water. I'd have to call up there and order a part, wait for it to get here, install it. Now I'm going to have another one, and it's not likely that both of them will break down at the same time. So that's the two reasons why I bought them. Another reason why I bought this machine is there's no shaping of that. And my son Howard here, he has been out here all day long sharpening saw blades. And guess what I've been doing? I've just been resting.
He's been mechanicking.
I've been mechanicking. I put a rear end in that recliner in yonder. But anyway, machine has so far serviced me well. And Thomas, you can take a picture of that right there. Since I bought that machine, I've had that machine about 2 weeks. That's how many blades I have sharpened. And that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mark. That's close to a couple of hundred, about close to 300 blades we have sharpened with this machine.
And that's pretty impressive in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because also you had a bit of a backlog, but you caught up.
Yeah.
And we've got 200 more laying around.
Yeah.
This is true. There are blades all in the stalls and everything. And I didn't help out. We probably brought down another 30 blades from Tennessee for my dad.
Well, we sharpened half of those. Howard sharpened half of those. I cleaned them and he sharpened them. But this is my machine. They make this in the BMS 250. This runs a 5-inch wheel. They make this in the BSM. I guess it's the same. 500. It runs an 8-inch wheel. Yeah, BMS 500. It runs an 8-inch wheel. This wheel costs $200, $195. May as well say $200. And the 8-inch wheel is a little over $400. But it costs more to run the big machine. It's probably a better machine. I won't say better machine. I would say it might you might be able to do more with it. Everything I've wanted to do, I've accomplished it with this machine. So I do like this machine.
How many sharpenings do you think you can get per wheel?
The first wheel that we used, we got 136 blades with it. I'll show you that wheel.
You don't have it, you send it off.
All right, this is it.
Oh, that's right.
This is the first grinding wheel that we use. It's exact same wheel, the same model wheel as that is on there. And you'll see right here, this is the CBN, whatever the CBN stand for. That's what, feel that, Thomas, that's kind of rough.
Carbon nitrate.
Yep.
All right, and on the back side, where this wheel comes down on the tooth, it wore that off. So this wheel is ruined. It will not sharpen anymore. That's $200 right there. So I've got to send this back to Woodmizer. I wasn't satisfied with the number of blades that I sharpened with it. I thought I should got around 300. He sent me a new one and told me to return shipping label to mail this one back. They're going to examine it, and if it was a fault of the wheel, I won't have to pay for the new one. But if it was my fault, then I got to pay for it. Guess whose fault it's going to be?
So again, very impressive machine. However, there's a lot of pros and there are some cons and everything. It does have a lot of oil and stuff like that. So wherever you place this machine, make sure you're taking that into consideration. We also did hear that this pump right here should last about 2 years.
They told me that I should get 2 years life out of that pump.
Yep. Because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the oil. There's debris. That's why it's very important if you clean your blades, that'll minimize the amount of debris that ends up down there. But also you have those metal shavings that collect on the magnets. So you got to go through. And how often y'all clean out?
Every morning, every evening.
Every morning, every evening. And
or either we clean out in the evening. We don't have to clean out in the morning. But we clean it every day. When we get through, we clean the machine.
Yep.
I mean, we clean the magnets and all off. We don't go necessarily clean all this off. And all this is little steel particles. That's what that is. That's the little filings that come off of the saw blades. That's what that is.
You take a magnet and just run it around there.
I'll show you this. I wasn't gonna put my hand down in there, but I'll show you this.
His wife's gonna be happy with him.
This is one of the magnets that has that catches that stuff to keep it from going into the pump.
Yep. It's pretty wild.
And there's 4 of these magnets in there. And I've got this bucket.
Yeah, he's got a bucket over here that's
Oh, yeah.
full of just
It's full
goopy, fun metal shavings. And then the other bucket here, the red one on top here, is soap and water. Soapy water mixture and everything. Because after he sticks his hands in there, he wants to use that soap to get all that crap off there so that Miss Sweet Diane don't have to deal with Mr. Stinky, Mr.Robert.
Those are super strong magnets, and they make a horseshoe, or they're surround this pump, and they're supposed to catch all that metal before it goes through the pump. Does it catch it all? Probably not, but it catches enough of it that the pump functions well.
Yep.
So
there
we clean those, and then like he said, that's what this bucket of soapy water is for.
Until we get a sink installed.
Well, folks, hopefully you thought this is interesting. This is, again, just the first look at the machine. Tomorrow, we're going to come back out here and we're actually run some blades through it to see how the actual operation is. And that'll be the conclusion, video number 3 of the sharpening and setting over here at Mr. Robert and Howard's sharpening setup. Now, again, we're trying to get these 2 individuals to start a YouTube channel because they are a vital part of my channel and the knowledge and the friendship that they've given me and everything. But they know more about sharpening than any other person that I know. It's quite impressive, the knowledge that they have. And for Mr. Robert to say he's impressed with this machine, because he don't give out praises, all too much. He spoke highly of the cooks. He still loves the cook setter. Yeah. But for him to run this machine for only 2 weeks, and I think he's a
super machine. I like it.
Yeah. So that's
now how long is it going to hold up? We're going to find out. I'm hoping I don't have any problems with it for a long time. Because I hate that. I'm a machinist by trade, and I can do certain things on it, fix it, but I don't like to work on it.
Yep.
I can, but I don't want to.
And that's something very important, folks. No matter what machine you have, at some point, you potentially could have a failure.
Yep. I mean, it's mechanical. It's going to break down.
Exactly. So as long as you prepare yourself and you have a plan, so in his case, he's going to double his protection there by having a second machine.
The blades that come off of this machine here are sharp.
Mm-hmm.
They're exactly the same. Every tooth is exactly the same, and they are sharp. You clean that blade and inspect it. If it's a good blade, you set it. If it needs setting. If it's been run one time and not abused and not hit anything, you could probably sharpen that. You can sharpen it again, maybe twice before you have to set it. If it gets under 18 thousandths set, I would set it.
Yep.
That's a minimum set that I would run on a saw blade.
And I agree as well. So all my videos where I'm testing blades, 18 thousandths is kind of my criteria. Once the set gets to that or lower, that blade I'm deemed as no longer usable, I should go ahead and reset it because I'm putting undue stress into that blade.
That's right. That's right. And it's a good machine. I really like it. I can't wait to get my other one where we could just get in here. And tomorrow when we do another video, I have, through this video channel that Thomas has put out, I have acquired friends all over this country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from Maine to South America,
Alaska,
up and around where Thomas is.
Utah.
I have a friend in Homer, Alaska. I have a couple of friends in Utah. All over. That they're mainly running Cook's machines, but they're sharpeners. They're sawmillers. And some of them are just have sharpening business. And tomorrow on another video, what we're going to do is put these names out there. They may be closer to you. That's just like where I live. I live so far out in the country. If I lived any further out, I'd be closer to something. But wherever you live, there is somebody in your area that does what I'm doing and does a good job. And we're going to give you about 5 names tomorrow and their locations and phone number. So that'll be on another video, but it'll be out there.
Yeah. So.
And some people who sell blades that we would recommend.
Exactly. So we're going to do a video on that, and not to spoil the news on that, but there are other companies other than the companies you buy your sawmills from. I'll just leave it at that. All right, folks, please like, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and we're going to have some more knowledge sharing on the channel. Thanks.